Okay.
I think there are only 10 new characters and 30 chapters.
Did you check that?
I did.
Yeah. Should we kick off?
Yeah, I suppose so.
You want to introduce us? Do you know the name of our podcast? Because your Google Drive, had the wrong name.
What was the Google Drive name?
I think you said the second book is better or something like that. Really didn't roll off the tongue.
Oh, it's book 2 is better.
Yes.
I've been telling everyone it's the second book is better.
No, that's horrible.
And by everyone, I mean the 3 people I told I was making a fantasy novel read-through podcast.
I haven't told anyone because I'm still a little embarrassed.
What a virgin.
I should tell you, I was watching this video about Logan Paul's crypto scheme, Crypto Zoo.
I watched a reaction video about it.
Well, he basically stole money from people. And also it's like the product was like fundamentally fucked up. Unfortunately, this sort of ship has sailed with cryptos and NFTs, like the fool me 100 times, shame on me thing. But get this, it's called Crypto Brew.
Ooh.
It is a blockchain-based bar where you can get an NFT brew to crack with your boys over the decentralized ledger.
Why haven't we made it?
I don't know how to code.
My friend James knows how to make them. NFTs.
Does he know enough for us to steal money from people? I think this wouldn't be a scam. Like, it would be on its face stupid. And if you bought it, you know exactly what you're getting. You're getting a virtual brew to crack.
Yeah. I honestly think we should do it.
Crypto brew.
Yeah, and by the time we make it, the market will start coming back.
Really? People will have a renewed trust in NFTs and crypto?
Well, they'll just freak out about the economy or the politics or something and start buying NFTs again.
Yeah, after states go back and delegalize sports gambling, people are going to go back to NFTs.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Can you start?
Yeah, absolutely. Avery, how you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Just good?
I'm fine. We took too long off, and I'm struggling to remember what happened in this section, but we're going to push ahead.
It's true. I have a lot of notes that say things like big man throws other man and what happened here. 2 weeks ago, Travis is not really helping today. Travis figure out what any of that means.
You also did finish the book.
Well, I wasn't
which you were not supposed to do.
I wasn't supposed to, but I get excited. The books are actually quite good, and I'm not just sucking up to John Gwynne so he can come on the podcast one day, but
he should come.
I enjoyed them. I thought it was like a thrill a minute towards the finish, but
we should also, I do want to state up front that I really enjoyed this book. I feel like I'm going to make fun of a lot of stuff in this section, in this episode, but that is truly from a place of love. It is not from a place of hate.
It's like watching National Treasure with Nick Cage, where it's like, I actually unironically love this movie. And there's some good pieces and some good plot and some good acting. There's also some ridiculous shit.
I watched a follow-up film to National Treasure from the same production team called G-Force. It's about an FBI trained group of guinea pigs.
No way.
That are unfortunately decommissioned and sold to a pet store, and then they have to escape and save the world from essentially from Alexa. The technology was like prescient. It's funny because I don't know when this movie came out. It was probably like 2007 or something. It must have been around then, because like the whole soundtrack was just like Black Eyed Peas bangers. Like they actually licensed I Got a Feeling in it. Like they spent a ton of money on
that's a big budget film.
But the bad guy in this movie, he was an appliance manufacturer, and he wanted to make networked appliances that sort of communicate with each other and with your home.
The Internet of Things.
Exactly. Yes. They were way ahead of the Internet of Things. Unfortunately, instead of just passively spying on people, they, like all the blenders grew arms and started trying to kill people. Because the G-Force.
The G-Force
saved the day. They saved the day. They did. Yeah.
So what led you to pick that movie?
It was in the DVD collection of the Airbnb where I was staying for Thanksgiving.
Nice. Just an A+ quality collection.
Yeah, I think in retrospect, I would give it about a 2.8 out of 10.
That's not as bad as I would have thought, honestly.
I think it's the lowest score I've given anything.
In scores, what do you give section 2 of Malice?
Oh, section 2?
That was a good segue. I'm a good host.
Okay, this is tough because, and we will get to this, but the Kings of the Banished Lands staring at the eclipse, and then like the climax was just 2 of our main characters blacking out, was so frustrating to me that I like had to talk to my girlfriend about it. You would not fucking believe I've been waiting for this for 300 pages. And this idiot looked at the sun and blacked out.
It was a little bit shocking. I think that's probably why I finished the book, is because I sat on that for about 12 hours and I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not waiting 2 weeks to talk to Avery about this.
Yeah, no. I think it's a good section though. Like, I'm sure if you ever did a reread, I think there are a lot of gems here, especially with like him picking up his pet dire wolf and like, you know, the horse and all this stuff. I think there's stuff that's gonna like echo through the whole series that comes up really for the first time in this section. So
the fan favorites for sure. Yeah, I think I give it, and middle sections are always hard in books, right? Because you always have the exposition in the beginning, the character developments, the end is always a banger. The middle can be tough to tie it all together, but I think I give it like a 7.7.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm sitting, somewhere near an 8, maybe a little bit below. But this seems good. So
I'm excited, and just
we are covering.
Welcome back to episode 2 of Book 2 is Better.
Yes.
A fantasy novel read-through podcast with Avery Rux and Travis Fox. I'm Travis.
And I'm Avery. And today, now that we're a couple minutes in, we're going to be covering chapters 19 through 48.
Yes, a big chunk.
Of Malice. This book is not broken into sections, so we
made up these sections.
We're stopping where the cool parts are.
It's true. We picked some big plot points, but I am comforted to say that there were only, I think, 10 or 11 new characters and names in these 30 chapters versus the, 39 in the first 40 pages from section 1. So it was a little bit easier to come through and follow.
I did feel like a stubborn child, though, when John Gwynne introduced us to Camlin and sort of all of the people who live in the forest. It's like, I don't want to go.
No, I think I actually...
You go, John. Don't take me.
And then I had to go
I'll
back
stay
and
back.
read it. I was like, don't do this to me, man.
Especially this chapter, we're getting like the entire backstory of how people ended up in the forest.
Oh, God, it's like the whole Robin Hood gang, like Friar, what's his face, and everybody else. The band of thieves.
There was, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves now, but there was a hilarious moment in one of those chapters where Camlin's a prisoner and he's talking to Brennan, the king, and essentially he's trying to take the moral high ground. And he's like, well, you guys have killed my people. And Brennan's like, yes, because you raid our fucking villages and steal our shit. And then Camlin doesn't have a response. He's like, honestly, I had not thought of that. It's a good point.
Camlin's character development is actually hilarious. It's just like, as soon as somebody gives him a bed to sleep in, he's chilling.
Yeah, yeah. He's not sleeping in a forest that's like hunted by giants and wolves.
But the whole time he's like, I love it here. This is my home.
This place rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the theme in these books, is like men being shown just the tiny bit of like respect and affection and then following people blindly.
It's pretty close to true for every single character in the book.
Yeah, just give them the tiniest little bit of support.
And it's the younger brother syndrome. I guarantee really Cameron's the younger brother.
Yeah, everyone wants to be a main character.
Yeah. Well, why don't, Avery, why don't you dive in? Give us a little bit of summary for this.
All right, baby.
Section.
Here we go. Plot summary. A little bit shorter than the last one. All right, chapters 19 through 48 of Malice. The men of Dunkerque returned from their mission to clear the forest of bandits. They sustained heavy losses, but they captured a prisoner. Rafe offers to give Corban his stolen practice sword if he steals something from the witch/healer Brina's house. Corban succeeds on the break-in part of the dare, but fails on the stealing part thanks to that meddling, talking crow. Thankfully, Brina isn't too upset, and it ends with Corban snagging his second internship of the summer. Corban also snags another beating from Rafe, which leads to a full-on dad fight a few chapters later. Later on, Corban comes of age and enters the Rowan field, where he's assigned to learn the blade from the mysterious Halion, make that internship number 3 for Corban. Corban also checks a few more boxes on our fantasy bingo board and adopts a pet wolf, which isn't super popular with the folks in town, and possibly a magic horse. Unfortunately, both of these animals are given very stupid names. Corban and Cywin also discover a passageway hidden behind a magical wall in a sea cave. Elsewhere, Veritas and Budget Veritas start a little bromance, and Veritas interrupts yet another bullying scene by chopping off the arms of one of Jail's men. Maybe too harsh, but who am I to judge? Castell does some more brooding and squabbling with his cousin. He tries to make peace with Jail for maybe 5 minutes before giving up and deciding to join the giant fighting army. Back in Dunkirk, Brennan's decision to deny Evans's PTO request has immediate consequences as Evans's wife dies. On the bright side, it will be a lot easier for Evanes to find some work-life balance now that he has one less life to worry about. Camlin, our newest POV character, is captured in Brennan's forced raids, and he escapes shortly thereafter with a little help from Braith and Corban. Nathair starts to show a troubling interest in turning the Banished Lands into an empire, led by him, of course. He also develops a new battle tactic inspired by dog-eating ants. He tells Veritas that he's Ilian's chosen one. He recruits the legendary Jahar and discovers he's in the company of the Ben Elam. If it wasn't for Nathair, most of this book would be about bullying. Finally, we get the moment we've all been waiting for. All of the brightest minds in the Banished Lands gather to stare at an eclipse, and Nathair and Corban instantly black out. Shortly thereafter, Veritas finds that Nathair has been stabbed and the king has been killed by a Mandros. Let's put a pin in that. And that's it.
That was beautiful.
There we go.
The summer of internships. That's what it really is.
He's a busy boy.
I mean, unpaid internships.
He must be so tired every day.
They do really, I think, undersell how tired he must be, because he wakes up before dawn to train with swords, and then he has a full job as a blacksmith, and then he trains with more swords, and then he goes and does an apothecary internship. And then he gets in a bullying fight almost every single day.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. Too many extracurriculars.
It's a young man's game having 5 internships.
Yeah. It's a helicopter parent's wet dream.
All of them are
college activities.
Yeah, he's going to get into absolutely any college.
Yeah. Top 50, here we come. U.S. News and World Report.
Yeah. Maybe we were wrong about him going to Northwestern.
Yeah. Where do you want to start? Where should we dig in?
I think I would like to start by asking you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how old Yeller is this book going to be?
Oh no. I mean, it's got to be somewhere between Hank the Cowdog and Where the Red Fern Grows for me.
I think it's going to be perhaps past Where the Red Fern Grows, because we're going to have 4 epic length fantasy books before this dog dies.
No, because that's the first book I cried for. So nothing.
That's the first time I cried due to media, was Where the Red Fern Grows.
It actually, that could be true, but it's a vivid childhood memory for me. Was reading that book.
That was so fucked up.
But I'm gonna be sad.
I am prepared. Really, I'm prepared for it to happen, but I know it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt a lot. I mean, there's no way he's gonna successfully raise a wolf child in a village full of people that already hate him.
It does like beggar belief a little bit that these people who live next to this sort of enchanted forest with deadly wolves are all of a sudden open to the idea of bringing one of them into the middle of their town,
which they repeatedly warned against for the entire first section of the book. Like,
yeah, it's like a huge
evil wolf.
Yeah, these horse-sized wolves are a huge problem. That said, he did invoke the Queen's Justice. So
the King's Justice, but it became the Queen's Justice.
Oh, it was the Queen's Justice. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a pretty pivotal scene. He really used the scales from a triangle strategy reference there.
He did. I feel like this is also like another box on our fantasy bingo. Doing something like King's Justice or Trial by Combat.
Yeah.
I'm about to fork over a plump little dollop of main justice.
I mean, I think it's a classic bingo card of a surprisingly reasonable, logical ruler who's completely connected to the village townspeople, which just never happens.
Yeah. It also avoids them having like a trial.
Yeah, which is true. You can't have a whole trial novel.
Trial scene.
Just
I don't think John Gwynne could have gotten through a trial scene in any less than like 150 pages.
No, but I would read that novel.
This procedural law novel. I think that's what he's working on now.
It'd be good, but that's not the only animal in his menagerie.
I fucking hate his animals' names. They are so bad. Well, let me back up, because when I was reviewing to put together my chapter summary, I looked and there was a chapter that ends with the words a storm was coming.
And
that was a Corban POV chapter. In the very next chapter is when he names the wolf Storm.
I mean, that's just good writing.
That's why this is a good book.
I mean, I think it's fair. But I mean, if anything, the usage of animals in this book reminds us that horses are OP. Horses need to get nerfed.
That horse, I don't know why that horse. I guess we should back up and say that there was a very bizarre scene where, well, it's not bizarre in the context of the world because Corban was getting bullied, which is like most of what happens to him. But he was getting bullied by his normal bully's dad, which seems extremely weird, and Vaughn, which is Evans' son. And then Rafe's dad just unleashes one of his hunting hounds on Corban.
It was brutal.
I did like that Vaughn was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I thought we were just picking on him. Like, I'm not trying to kill him.
You're too far, my friend's dad. Calm down. You're a grown man.
And Corban's horse like runs over and kicks the shit out of this hound and saves the day. But there's got to be something up with this horse because he's like barely interacted with this horse. He like pointedly hadn't even named it yet.
Right. He hadn't even gotten on it yet. I don't think. I think that was like the first day he ever rode the horse successfully. And all of a sudden it likes him enough to go full trot across the field and curb stomp a dog.
Do you remember who gave him this horse? I remember his dad telling him about it. I'm wondering if this is like a gift from the ever suspicious Gar, and it's going to turn out that it's like
it could be a secret Gar gift.
Yeah.
Something they arrange behind the scenes, but
yeah. So now we got Pokemon Storm and Shield.
Exactly. Gotta catch them all. Corban
Storm.
edition.
God, it's just such a small child name because he's like it looks like Storm. So Storm. Shield.
And Ban or Corban, they call him Ban a lot.
Oh, it's
a weird little nickname.
Yeah, it should have been Core.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred it. Or would be the ultimate name. He goes on some adventures. He's a frisky little devil.
Yeah.
Yeah, he well, first he has the internship with the healer, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I love her crow.
She's a talking crow. She's magic. The crow is an ancient pre-human creation of elementals, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I went back and reread her little spiel about why her crow could talk. And I think she said that in the past, all animals could talk.
Yep.
That sucks.
Well, it brings up this kind of interesting point about the exiles, which we hadn't talked about as much, which is basically the modern human race.
Right.
Are the exiles from like the first big war. And then there seems to have been a time where giants and first human type people and animals in the earth were all buddy. And now humans are just kind of assholes who don't get along with anybody.
Yeah. And it seems like the giants are like more assholey now too, because there's a comment about them being much more warlike now.
Yeah, they definitely don't like the humans.
In the past, they were gentler. And I guess all humans in the past were elementals, capital E elementals. So it seems like the magic system in this is just earthbending and airbending.
Yeah, it's still, we really haven't made much progress on the magic system.
No. we got absolutely nothing. I guess like we get a little bit of Evans reading his Earth Book of Magic.
True.
But I don't know that we get any serious like hints about how it works or what he can do.
No, just some sort of control over elements. That's about it.
Yeah, he's going to be an elemental. Do you think that his stupid horse or his dog will talk by the end of this series?
Oh my god, I'm mad because I hadn't even thought of that question.
I hadn't thought of it till just now.
Dude, there's no way his dog doesn't talk.
I want the horse to talk.
No, and you know what? The dog's going to talk telepathically through whatever shadow realm they live in when he passes out. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was reviewing it, also, I didn't realize that the sort of gray world that they've been slipping into and out of, I think it is the other world.
Oh, it's where the gods are trapped? Or the
unless we're being lied to, but when Corban stares at the sun and blacks out, and he's talking to, I don't know, Devilman, they say that they're in the other world, like capital O other world, which is supposed to be like where Belial and Azeroth are. I don't know if trapped is the right word, but it's where they reside.
I mean, it would make sense. I mean, there's going to be a portal at some point. 100%
Right, yeah.
It's probably the cauldron they keep referencing.
Yeah. That's what Evanis is supposed to be finding, right? The cauldron.
Well, okay, so now we're kind of into the god stuff, the kind of backgrounds, the big narrative that is the elephant in the room overlooking all the little action in this. So Nathair thinks he's the god's chosen one.
But do you, insightful reader, do you think he's the chosen one?
I wrote he is the classic good guy turned villain.
I too would be willing if DraftKings would put up a bet on whether Nathair is the Black Star or Black Sun or whatever the fuck. I would be willing to bet basically all of the money in my checking account on that. But
yeah, I mean, they make a kind of good case for it for a little while. It seems pretty plausible, and then they just start chipping away at it immediately.
Yeah, aside from like the factual parts of like it being chipped away at, it just doesn't seem to me to be the type of person that John Gwynne would set up as the savior of the world, right? Like, he's just an unbelievable narcissist, unless like this is going to be his journey to like discover humility and like how to listen to people. But
yeah, he gets way whinier just throughout the whole
I liked early Nathair, like during the first part.
No, he's like this brave, always kind of courageous risk taker who's like motivating people. Veritas is like inspired by him.
Yeah, he's such a mover and a shaker and felt like very competent. And I don't know if that's necessarily changed, but yeah, he becomes very, very entitled and impatient, but you know.
Yeah, so he's still a good motivator and like group leader. He gets people to pull together. So he basically gets his dad's permission, right, to go questing and to go fight some people and defeats the Hunden, right? Is that who they're fighting? The
Hunin.
Hunin. Hunin.
Yeah.
Yeah, those people. So he's gonna go fight some giants. And on the way, he encounters more animals.
He really does. And let me tell you, my mental picture of these drags, big old iguanas.
Oh, 100% iguanas. They got little scales, they got little tails that go back and forth.
They got the little arms that go out. They got a low, wide stance.
Yeah.
Are these more or less dragony than the worms to you?
They're way less dragony.
Less dragony than the worms?
Yeah, I imagine these like large hogs.
Okay, that's not exactly what I imagined. I'm literally imagining an iguana, but just the size of
iguana.
An elephant.
But I mean, to be fair, if you took most creatures and made them large, they would all be terrifying.
Like a cat?
It's like imagine a.
Well, I guess an elephant-sized cat would be the most deadly creature.
Like an elephant-sized centipede.
Well, centipedes are already scary. What's not a scary animal?
A big cat would be pretty.
A dachshund.
Yeah, just a horse-sized dachshund.
A 40-foot long dachshund. Yeah.
It would be pretty gnarly.
So I did some research, and I have to eat a tiny bit of crow.
Ooh.
From something that I said last episode. I said you were dumb for thinking that the worms were dragons. Unfortunately, I went to the Wikipedia page for Germanic dragons, and I think that the word Wyrm is Middle English essentially for dragon. I looked this up weeks ago, so this is probably all bad information. Anyways, I think that the term worm has in the past been used to mean dragon. However, in certain Western traditions, dragons are not winged fire-breathing creatures, but they are large snakes. So I think we split the baby on this one. I think it could still be a large snake, but it could be intended to like evoke dragon.
Agree to disagree. These babies are dragons.
Time will tell. Time will tell. I will be more right than wrong by the end of this series.
It's just that you've seen wrong interpretations of dragons in pop culture and media over the past 2 decades.
Yeah, real dragons.
No, those aren't real dragons.
Those are not Germanic dragons. Yeah, these are true Germanic dragons.
Old English is the truth.
Yes. John Gwynne, thank you for setting the record straight.
Exactly. And okay, also other animals, ants. there's a terrifying scene where a bunch of ants eat a whole dog.
Yeah. They also almost eat a
bigger.
Human.
They're bigger than normal ants, which is already bad.
Was it Verdus or was it Castell who was like picking them off the boy and like squishing them between his fingers?
It was Verdus. Verdus is a badass.
It was incredibly badass, yeah.
I'll give him some credit. He's a big dummy, for sure.
Yeah.
But he jumps in to save people when they're in trouble. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, he is like the supreme bodyguard. Like anyone would be happy to have him. His loyalty is truly unquestioned because he's incapable of thought, and he's like at this point like the most badass fighter in the land. So
yeah, he's incredibly badass. I like his character.
Yeah,
but he is trusting to a fault. He does not question anything.
No,
he also has some of the dumbest. There's a line I pulled from page 292 where they're standing in silence in the forest for too long, hunting the Hunan. He says, "To slay these giants, we must find them." And it's even better because Nathair is like, "Well, yeah, no shit. Obviously, I'm aware of that." So when even the characters
don't get mad at me for being right. I'm right.
Well, he's the guy who breaks the ice with the thing that everybody already knew.
Yeah. We're gonna die if we don't breathe out here.
Yeah. Oh
man. But
so yeah, Nathair's epic adventure. He has a new fighting style, which is shield wall.
Inspired by the ants.
Interlocking ants, many strong together, apes together strong.
Ape together strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did
shield walls.
I also consulted only secondary sources about shield walls, and here's what I learned.
Who has primary sources about shield walls?
I could have clicked the Wikipedia footnotes and gone to. No, honestly, those would also be secondary sources.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's been a relevant battle tactic for.
I would have to go to the nearest college library and find something. Anyways, I think John Gwynne's like description of sort of pre-shield wall fighting tactics is right.
Yeah.
In that it used to be everyone trying to 1v1 each other in a big crowd. And then people develop shield walls like as a means of crowd control and keeping your people organized. And then but it goes back to like the times of the Greeks and the Romans. Like it wasn't necessarily a Viking thing. This
right.
existed thousands and thousands of years ago.
Yeah, 300. It's the whole movie's about it.
Yeah. So it seems like he did a little bit of research on it. I do wonder though, because like obviously it's brutally effective now. But I just feel like we're going to get a scene at some point where they try to pull this out and someone has gotten wind of the new tactic and they're going to suffer like some sort of crushing loss.
Yeah, I mean, they even allude to it a little bit. Like, Nathair is clearly a clever guy. Like, he's come up with some really innovative things. He's young. He thinks outside the box. Like, he's, kind of rubbing the elders the wrong way who think they know how war works. But his tactics work, but it seems like they're always on the edge of a needle, basically. He's like, if those dregs had just run a little bit differently, or if the people had come to our flank, we would have been totally fucked. So I think it's a lot of element of surprise.
I do think the shield wall against the horse-sized iguanas was maybe not the best use case for that.
Right, just let's stand in front of us and charge us down full speed.
Just let them run into us full speed.
Same with giants. It appears way more effective against giants because giants are more stabbable from what we're seeing in the books.
Yeah.
Like, you always forget that you can stab a giant's shin when it's standing in front of you, and it hurts.
Yeah, there was some good writing about that, like in the fight scene where Verdus is sort of like hiding behind his shield and basically like blindly thrusting with his short sword out and like feels it like bite flesh and stuff. It's good stuff. It's
his battle riding is still really good. Like it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and still short. Still no long battle scenes. We love that. Yeah. So this fight, though, it seems like Nathair was eager to go because it was going to put him in the same neighborhood as the mythical city of the Jahar, which is hidden behind a glamour.
Yeah, let's talk about this word glamour.
Yeah, it's spelled with a U and an O.
It's very French.
Glamour.
Glamour.
Yeah. Those just seem to be out there. We've seen 2 now, I think. Maybe we've seen more.
Yeah, and they seem to be some sort of mystical covering over a physical location. It's like a hidden wall trick, basically.
Yeah, and they've hidden walled sounds like an entire like a veil.
Oh, it's Wakanda.
Canyon or something. Yeah, they are Wakanda.
Yeah.
It's a crossover episode.
Really is. They're like a like advanced warrior civilization just chilling behind a hidden wall.
Who have been sitting and waiting for hundreds of years training just for Nathair.
Yeah, well, more importantly, they've been training for the Chosen One.
Well, Nathair, that's what I said.
And they've been very clear. Just to be clear, you said Nathair. Just want to clarify. No, but they, so we basically get the scene where Nathair is being led by Calidus, Lycos's second-hand man, and the mage with his giant buddy.
Yeah.
And they have a vested interest in their boy Nathair getting some power. They seem to have really put their chips behind him. And so they're ushering him, they're actually leading him. Somehow Calidus knows where the hidden city is. They take him straight there. We kind of get this backstory that apparently multiple people have tried to do this before and claimed they're the Chosen One. And there's even a section of the Jahar that have been exiled or ran
very
away.
Interested in that. And
like a rogue faction. But Calidus does a little coaching to Nathair on what to say. And all of a sudden, basically in like 3 minutes, he just has an entire like army behind him.
Yeah, he just screams, "I'm a real boy," and it works. But yeah, not before Calidus unveils his wings.
So what the fuck?
He's a winged man.
Well, we gotta break this down a little bit because they're chilling in a room. Nobody believes this little cocky boy Nathair, and then this dude pops off with angel wings.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's pretty much it.
Everyone instantly. Yeah.
Who is he? So he's claiming to be a Ben Elim, who is the good guy God's right-hand people. Do you buy it?
I think that this is one. I mean, no, I don't buy it. I think it is the opposite of that. I think that he is one of the dark Ben Elim. Also, I think Azeroth can lie. He's not like an elemental thing that has to tell the truth or whatever. Like, isn't that his whole thing?
There's no rule that the bad guys can't make shit up.
Yeah. He like tricked Elion. I think that's his whole thing. It's like being a deceiver. So I don't think they have any qualms about lying. But I also think it's going to be one of those things that's like technically true. Where he's like, oh yeah, I'm a Ben Elim. I'm just one of the dark Ben Elim. Like I forgot to mention that. Like, if you'd asked me, what I would have told you.
Yeah, and they do all have this connection where they talk a lot about Lycos and Calidus all having amber eyes, which are kind of the same eyes as the Wolven as well, but also the same eyes potentially as Azeroth in the beginning of the book. Yes. So I think there's some pretty big hints that John Gwynne is laying down that people with amber eyes are not to be trusted.
Yeah. So since before the pod we were talking about eye color and that maybe being sort of a hint about who's who, I went back to the otherworld scene after Corban blacks out and looks at the eclipse,
right?
And basically talks to the Devil Man, and the Ben Elim show up, but he notes that these Ben Elim have purple eyes, and the purple-eyed Ben Elim are the ones who save him and take him back into the real world.
So it's purple v amber.
So I think it's a purple v amber situation. Is what
we have a race war.
We do. Now it's Stormlight. We got light eyes and dark eyes.
And then
there's
the
also
Fire Nation attacked.
Water.
And other characters with notable eye colors. Well, I guess I can only think of one. I don't know. I said multiple. Is Big Mike McCall, the King's advisor. I don't know that we know what color his eyes are, but Veritas's brother asks about it at one point.
True.
And I think the answer that they got is like, I don't know, but they seemed dark, which I had speculated. I speculated that McCall is part giant.
Because he's a big tall guy.
About how tall he is, like the tallest man anyone's seen. And he has dark eyes, and the giants have these small dark eyes. So that's where I'm going. But maybe he's something else.
That's true. It's true. I mean, he's definitely a curious character. Like, you can tell he's very distrusting. He has a lot of secret things going on. So, I mean, there's definitely more there than meets the eye than just like a simple King's advisor. He's gonna be a big person, I think, in the next chapters. Yeah,
you don't just uncover a book of prophecy in a long forgotten, ruined city.
It's true.
Not show back up in the books. So where are we at with Corban? Should we cover some of the fun and games in town with Corban?
Yeah, because we basically hit
stuff a little bit.
we hit most of the end of the Nathair story. He basically, once he convinces the Jahar, they're like, we're going to come follow you in a couple months. Just wait for us. We're going to mobilize and do our thing.
Yep.
And then he starts heading back to the capital city.
Exactly.
This whole time, Ban has been on his internships and more or less just growing to be quite a lad.
Yeah. Even his sister remarks that her brother is becoming a little bit of a badass. And
he saves the day a lot.
He really
he
does.
Jumps in there. He's always first of all, he's always in a terrible position.
Yeah.
He just finds himself in like the worst pieces of luck imaginable. But I think one of the first ones that we find him in is he's starting all his internships, and then he meets our friend Camlin.
He does, yes. So Corban and Cohen, but not Dad because he's scared, they go to explore a sea cave, and we have our second glamour of the episode. Realize at the back of this cave, it actually leads into a secret tunnel.
Secret tunnels!
Thank you. There we go, real quick. They go up, and there's sort of like a secret latch that they use, and go into a room where they find not dragons, worms. They find a dead worm. This is the worm that they killed.
It's a dead baby dragon. Yeah, because it doesn't have a head. It's the one.
Yeah,
that
and they said it was
off.
like a clean cut, and they chopped off the head. So this is where Evanus found his Book of Earth power.
But isn't that even scarier? Like, you're a young dude, and you find this like legendary dragon, but then somebody is stronger than the dragon and chopped its head off. You're like, what is happening?
Little does he know the worm was really not that strong, just got killed by an ordinary guy.
No, they're super strong dragons.
The ultimate threat in this series, the worm.
Yeah, but he basically pops out of the secret tunnel, and chaos, like all hell is breaking loose. The woodsman jolly thievery boys have struck again, and what are they? They're rescuing their buddy Camlin. Is that what they're doing?
Exactly. Yeah, Camlin was held prisoner. Was set to be executed by Brennan. He gave Brennan some information after
about
Brennan
Braith.
made him feel bad about killing Brennan's people indiscriminately.
And Camlin seems like a pretty okay guy. He's like, him and Brennan have a good conversation. They're kind of both likable, moral characters despite differences in their compass. And basically, we kind of get this inclination, like he's very loyal to Braith, who's like the daddy of the woods. And then Braith indeed does come to save him. Yeah,
he does. And there's sort of a standoff between Braith's team and what is his name? Marok? Marok. That guy.
Who is the son of Pendergast.
And thus the nephew of Brennan. Not spoken with confidence. He is of some relation to the king, and he was getting married.
That's actually one of my least followed areas of the whole book. There's some sort of nebulous around King Brennan with like a bunch of relatives and warriors, and I have no idea how they're related, and it doesn't matter to me at all.
No, I am not going to do the House of the Dragon, pulling up the family tree thing. I'm not interested. So they end up doing a sort of weird hostage exchange thing where the Braith's people take Marok, but only for a time. And Corban sort of helps negotiate this and is very brave.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like mutual respect. Like this little kid from the village stands up to the big bad woods villain, and he's kind of like, "Nice, man. Why don't I spit in the hand of a miner and then touch it?"
Yeah, that's the Darkwood way.
Yeah, spit secrets as they call it.
Yeah, that's what I tell my coworkers.
Yeah,
the Darkwood way. So that's it, and then Marok ultimately is released unharmed because they sealed it with spit promise. So
the people really follow through on like this idea of morals and justice more than you would expect in this book.
Yeah. So other Corban fun and games, we talked a little bit about it. I don't know if there's too much to say now, but he's now apprenticed to the witch and healer, so he is learning the art of picking flowers and naming them,
which is kind of adorable.
Yeah, that's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, she's so nice. She's so fun. She's like the aunt that's cool and abrasive.
The kooky astrology aunt.
Yeah, exactly. Like big frizzy hair and just rolling up with a bunch of quilts.
Pet crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have a good time. And then his other kind of apprenticeship is to Gar, which I think the apothecary one is going to be really cool long term because she has some weird magic stuff going on. But Gar kind of shows him some pretty dope stuff. Yeah. By the time that Corban shows up to the Rowan field, he's like pretty competent
with the sword, and it seems like everyone is quite impressed with what Gar has already taught him. So.
Yes. And speaking of Gar does a little dance of swords that we see in the Nathair crossover with the Jahar, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Let's put a pin in that.
Gar is a little bit more than he seems. It seems.
Yeah. Our speculation that he is maybe not a humble stable master, I think, is starting to pay off.
a little bit. But training montage works. Dan shows up to the Rowan Fields as a warrior apprentice. He passes, what is it, like his 14th birthday or something?
Somewhere around there,
Yeah, some teenage thingy. And then he starts training with Halion, who seems like a pretty good dude.
Yeah, I like Halion. Halion is like the sort of cool, noble, older brother, and he's got a shit little hothead younger brother, whose name starts with a C. I can't remember.
True.
So yeah, they also have like a mysterious background. We get some sort of hints about that. And it's actually Halion and his brother that lead to the incredibly badass duel that we see between Tull and that guy whose name starts with an M.
Yep. Morkant is his name.
Morkant.
Which is just an evil name.
Morkant,
it's a good name. Well, yeah. And this is all Corban's fault, obviously. Everything stems from his actions. So King Brennan is fed up that Merrick got kidnapped and also injured. He was injured pretty bad in the kidnapping.
Yeah.
And so he says, once and for all, I'm going to go kill all these woods people and we're going after Brait. But I need to rally my neighbor kingdoms together. Queen Rin, who is the evil person who's somehow behind Evnus. And then some other cousin type kings that are confusing. But they all go to a little bit, what is it, a summit? They're kind of at like the King Summit together.
The G7.
Yeah, it is like the G7.
The BL7.
And that's where I think it's kind of revealed that some of the people traveling with the group, Rin would prefer that they come back to her.
Yeah, Brennan granted them sanctuary, capital S sanctuary, from Rin, though I don't think we know for what, do we?
No, and I was confused. Was that Halion and his brother?
It was Halion and his brother, yes.
So Halion and his brother fled Queen Rin, and then she spotted them basically, or her advisor spotted them, or Evnus or somebody like that. And then tattletailed. And so she basically says, give me my dudes back. And Brennan's like, nah, fam, King's justice.
No, law is law, Ren.
Yeah.
So they settle it the only way that it could be settled.
A fucking epic duel.
Epic duel. This is so good. This might have been my favorite. This is a
Princess Bride level.
Two, yeah.
Like sword hand swapping, front flipping, table crashing.
He did the Arya Stark drop her sword into the other hand and swing, except it didn't fucking work because Tull is too famous and this guy knows all of his
How
tricks.
sick is that you have this badass, like amazing dexterous sword dropping spinny ability, and this dude's like, yo, I saw you kill like 3 people in 2019 doing that.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm a big fan of yours.
That's like a 10-page fight.
Yeah, it was really good. It was cool too because it's like you've got these very different styles. You've got like the old, large, grizzled Tull, and sort of like the young, sexy, like he's like a smaller, faster guy. And it's just great. But then Tull uses the power of pocket sand and ends up winning the fight. he pocket sands him right in the eye.
Pocket sand.
Yeah, and sort of nobly does not kill him. He pins him and asks Brennan if he wants him to kill him. Brennan, good guy, says no.
Yeah, and
Brennan probably feels bad about indirectly causing the death of Evnus' wife. He doesn't want any more blood.
Right, but there's a lot of tension. Basically, Rin storms off back to her castle. She's like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah.
And Morkant is obviously pissed because he just lost in front of like everybody important in his region.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of leave off there a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm sure it's not the last we see of Morkant and Tull.
No, but then I think that brings us to the eclipse for both big POVs.
Yeah. So everyone sort of notable in this book so far gathers to watch the eclipse, and right on schedule. It happens, and they black out.
Just faint. They just faint. Like, what a lame. We've been working up to this for like probably 300 pages at this point. Yeah.
And with Nathair, we don't even get, I mean, obviously it's on purpose that we don't get to see his experience in the other world, but we get Corban's, and I found even Corban's trip to the other world to be, I don't know, a little bit anticlimactic because the devil man's powers of persuasion are just incredibly weak.
Yeah,
he offers him nothing. He's like, serve me. And Corban says no, and that's sort of the end of the exchange.
Yeah, and it's like, you're not going to trust this big, scary dude who just transported you to a spooky world and is like, you need to trust me. Like, no, it's just he's like the guy trying to give out candy from a van, you know?
This man has yellow eyes. Corban looks closely and he is scaled like a large serpent or something. Like obviously he's not going to be interested in this. And then there's a funny thing where Corban runs away and the devil man screams. Like, no! Can you not catch him? This is like a 14-year-old boy.
You know what it reminds me a little bit is like Voldemort when he doesn't have a body, when he's just big mad, but he's stuck on the back of like Quill's head. He's just screaming like a banshee. He's like, kill him, kill the child. And everyone's like, dude, why can't you kill this stupid child?
That's actually a good thought because maybe Azeroth is not sort of at full strength.
He's like split his soul into different people and he's trying to get back to power or something like that.
I would love to know more about how they ended up in the other worlds and why they can't get back, because they were on the worlds previously, and for the scourging. So surely answers are coming on that front.
I think so. But Ban rejects the baddie, and I think that gives me some supporting evidence that he might be the good guy. He might be the protagonist.
Do you really think that the protagonist of this story is going to end up being the savior of the world?
No, never.
So Nathair presumably had like a parallel experience and said yes. The devil man even like alludes to that. He says,
it's implied. It's like if you don't, he's like, Corban, if you don't say yes, we
have other
candidates. 5 other candidates.
Oh man.
And Nathair is the pick-me girl of the civilization.
He really is. Yeah, he's getting into all of the devil's hobbies.
Yeah.
He's into rock climbing now.
Dabbling in little lizards,
The
giants. He's with the
Look, I got my own drag.
It's pretty
if
great,
you say drag out loud, it sounds like you have a thick Midwestern accent.
Drag. That's how it does.
And then that is close to the end. So really the only thing that we get in this section beyond the eclipse blackout is the death of King Aquilus.
And it comes under some interesting circumstances. Like they've been alluding to this in the build-up for a long time, where Nathair is pushing the boundaries of his dad's tolerance. His dad's kind of like, this is how I want the kingdom to look. Nathair's like, I'm going to go do some different shit. And they're kind of been at this impasse for a while where his dad's like, you better be right. I'm going to be really mad at you. And his mom's like, please trust your dad. You're like 15 years old. Stop befriending like pirates.
Yeah.
And so the king calls him into his room because he has made some accusations against one of the other kings for being disloyal and supporting the Black Sun. And then there's a murder.
There is a murder that we discover from Veritas's POV. And what he sees is he goes in, king is dead, Nathair is sort of bleeding out, and Mandros, the guy who was a bit of a thorn in everyone's side at the meeting about, where the prophecy was read, is bailing and running away.
He's just getting the fuck out of there. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this.
Which, admittedly does not look good for Mandros.
No.
That said, I have questions.
I have some questions. It's a little convenient. He went into a big argument with his dad, and his dad's dead.
It is a little sus. I'm sure we'll get some answers.
I know. Well, let's make some predictions coming out of part 2. I know we already said we finished the book, but I actually wrote my predictions down after I finished this section.
Yeah. So let's start with Gar, because I know we disagreed about that one.
Yeah, I am pretty firmly in belief that Gar is one of the rogue Jahar who left the society because he disagreed about the prophecy about the Chosen One.
Yeah. I thought that we were going to get an angel wing reveal with Gar.
Ooh,
now, I think anyone who's a good fighter, I'm fully expecting the angel wing reveal.
Yeah, they're all demigods somehow.
Yeah, they are. And then I don't even think this is a prediction, but I predict that Nathair is not actually the savior of mankind.
And I'll go a step further.
I think he's going to do a lot of harm to mankind.
I'll go a little bit further and say he committed patricide.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
And regicide all at once.
He did. Oh my God. I wonder if you can be charged for both offenses, or if that's one of those like a sin stacking things.
It's true. It's true. I do predict there's going to be some really interesting scenes with Corban and Nathair. Like they're going to have to cross paths. They're going to have to fight. It may not be this book, but they're going to meet, and that's going to be epic.
This is a way down the line prediction, but I predict that Verdus will end up switching sides, because even though he has daddy issues and Nathair is nice to him, unlike his dad, I think he has something of a moral compass. And once he probably helps Nathair like commit genocide in book 3, I think he's going to have a change of heart and join Team Corban.
And I disagree.
Oh no!
Yes.
Really?
I think Verdus is going to get too roped in to Nathair's schemes, and he's going to go too far, and he's going to do something like unforgivable and just do like an Anakin.
No.
And join the dark side.
Man, I really don't want that. I still like Verdus, even though he's a big dummy.
He's a big dummy. He says really dumb things, but I think he's too little brother squatted up with Nathair.
Yeah.
I have a prediction. I think he's going to kill his brother.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, because we did get some tension between them.
There's
which really hurt me. I really didn't enjoy watching these brothers feud, because I really like his older brother. If you're on that guy's bad, if you're on the backslapping guy's bad side, like, you have fucked up. You're wrong.
100%.
Yeah, I really hated that. Let's see. I predict that Storm will talk, and will have a Texas accent.
That's I'm into it. True Hank the Cowdog.
Yeah. He actually is Hank the Cowdog.
I actually had one more animal-based prediction, which is that the horse will save the day again in this book.
Oh, you mean the horse named Shield, the thing that protects you, will
just
do more protecting?
A horse. Yeah, horses are going to save the day at least once per 10 chapters.
Okay, and Storm is a Ben Elm horse. I'm going to put that. I'm gonna log that. These are all good predictions.
Yeah.
I think, I guess we'll see. We'll get some answers by the end of this book.
I think so.
Predict, even though I've already read the book, and I know for a fact that we get some answers.
Yeah, but I'm actually pretty proud of my predictions from this. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, I would love to talk to other people who've read this book to get their thoughts on sort of the Nathair thing, because both of us are very, very persuaded that he is not actually sort of the chosen one, the good guy. But maybe other people have had different experiences with the book and are more persuaded. I don't know.
Yeah, and John Gwynne could pull a sneaky on us for sure.
Yeah, I'm open to that. I don't feel like we're being tricked. Like, I don't think he's done a lot of tricking us, especially now that we've finished the book. But like, I think that's totally fine if this ends up being an obvious thing where, Nathair is the bad guy and we sort of knew it all along. Right. Because I think that is a fun twist with him truly believing that he is the good guy, but sort of being a pawn of evil. So. And
the other thing is that, to your point about pawns, right? Like, you can already tell this series is going to be bigger than these two guys. Like, there's some god stuff. Like, it's almost table stakes to have some sort of like human betrayal when there's going to be some sort of god war. Yeah. Things are only going to escalate from here. So we'll see. Yeah, it's a solid. After we talked about it more, I'm upping my 7.7 to a 7.85. Just on the strength of the pocket sand. Honestly, the pocket sand. We got pocket sand. We got Ben Elm horse. We got lizards. I don't know what else. Yeah, we got big old iguanas. Yeah, I tend to agree. In retrospect, this is all pretty good stuff. So we got to figure out what chapters we're covering next. But I think that pretty much does it for this. Oh, we should do that. Let's just finish it, and then if we need sort of a recap up to just tie up loose ends, then we can do that. I think we can do it. Okay. Awesome. We'll tune in next episode. We're going to be finishing the damn book. Finish the damn book, everyone. Do your homework. Awesome. All right.